Welcome to Tate Consulting. In this video, we'll be talking about data structure and aggregation. If you see anything in this video you enjoy or that teaches you something, make sure you click on the like button and subscribe to Tate Consulting channel. Let's jump right into the tutorial. Like we previously did in the other video, Spark DataFrame Basic, we do pip install PySpark. We're using Jupyter Notebook. We have pip install PySpark, import PySpark, put our library from PySpark.sql import Spark section. We go to Spark section builder. We call our app name. We can change this name. That's why it's complaining because it's been used previously. We can change it to data struct or your name, whatever. You can use it. Then if you run that, it's not going to complain anymore. So we have data frame equals to spark.read.format. Remember, we are dealing with CSV data, so we do spark.read.format CSV. If it's in package format, you change. If this one is in package format, you change to here to package format. If it's in JSON format, you change to JSON format. JSON. So here, if we run it, we have these our results. Good. So we can show our data, df.show to show our data. This is our data. If we proceed further, you can see our data. We have this one in string. We have this in string. It's like mixed, number and alphabet and letters. So we have this one as number, long number, like in form of integer, and this one integer. But even despite we know this, we have to check the data type. We have to check it. So to proceed further, and if there's any changes, we have to modify our data type to the correct data type. So we are going to import this library from PySpark SQL types, import structure, struct feed, string type, integer type, struct type. So if you do that, now we want to check the schema of our data that we've shown here. If we check our schema is showing string. Everything is string. But if you see middle age, it should be like in form of number. So we don't expect it to be in form of string. Remember, we want to do data aggregation. So to perform any data aggregation, we need to convert this from string to integer for us to do like addition, subtraction. But let's go on. Then after this, we've print schema. Now we proceed further. We have to change the data type of our data. So let's say, so we have converted this from string. Initially it's from string here. We have middle age as string. So we are casting as integer type. So we've done that. Then also children is in form of number. We have to change from string to integer type. So if we do that, then we check our schema again, print schema. We can see that it's been changed from string, middle age, string is now middle age integer. We have children string, then children has turned to integer here. So that we've done the first step. Now, if we proceed for that, let's show our data. It will give us the same data. Now, we want to go further by checking our data type. That's in form of columns. In form of column, that's it. Let's show our data here. Here we are filtering. We are selecting only middle age. So, so if we do data.select middle age, because then we have the show. We are selecting that column, then we are showing it. So we can see we have our column, middle age column selected from data here. So we have middle age selected. So it's a way of filtering a particular column. So let's check our data end. See, we are selecting two data here. That means from the column that we have here, we are selecting only 2 rows from here. So that's why we have this. We are selecting only these 2 rows. We have LA name equals to Darlington, LA equals to this. If you can see, it's the same thing here. LA equals to Darlington, LA name equals to Darlington, LA code equals to this. Then we have County Durham. So County Durham. So we are selecting the top 2 rows in our data. Let's proceed further. What we want to do here is to select middle age and middle_age and children. So let's see from our data, we have selected that. So we have middle age and children. So that's how to do that. If we want to check our data and do some counting of all the columns, so we can do data.select all, then count. So we're selecting that and we can see 323. We can see that 323 in our count. So here we are importing all the libraries. Okay, let's go on. In this next stage, we want to, we've converted our data type from string, like for middle age, from string to integer type. So now we can do a bit of aggregation, like multiplication. So what we want to do here is to do multiplication, like data dot with column. Then after multiplying this data 2 by this particular column, we want to generate a new column. And we call it new column. We can as well change the name as let's just say middle 2. We call it middle 2, but I think the best way to do is just middle new, or we call this middle name new. Okay, so if we run that, what we did here is we have middle age multiplied by 2, just like you are having 3 times 2, 4 times 2. We multiply these particular columns. Every value that we have in that column, we are multiplying it by 2. So if we multiply it, we want it to generate a new column called middle_new. So let's run that. We have that. Can you see? We have our result now. This is a new column, middle_new, and from middle age. So here 20917 multiplied by 2 is going to give us 41834. So the same thing applies to 96150 multiplied by 2 is going to give us a new column, which is 192,300. So after multiplying it, and the new column is now middle new. So let's proceed further. We want to do additional. That's multiplication. If we want to do addition and create a new column, we have, let's call this new column as middle_plus. So if we run this, what we want to do is just to add 20 to the existing middle age value in that column. So if we run that, we have this. So we have middle plus. It has created middle plus for us, and here we only added 20. 20917 plus 20 is going to give us 20937. So we've done that. Now in this next stage, we want to just play around using the Spark SQL to show our data, to find the range of data, to filter out a particular data in range. So what we will do here is we have data. Already, we've been using data. That's the data frame. So we want to create a temporary view table from this data. So we use data.create or replace temp view tatek. I can as well change this name to whatever name if you like. Maybe you want to change it to flight. I can change it to flight. So we have creating a temp view flight. If we run that, we have this, our temporary view table has been created. So here we can now say, maybe give it a name, whatever name we want to do. Maybe flight_df equals to Spark, because this is using, we're using Spark SQL query. We're using SQL query. So you use Spark that we've created .sql select all from, remember our table is what? Flight. So we call it flight. If we run that, let's say our results and flight underscore df. Let's see the results. Now we have this. So it's like we're repeating. This is another way of, checking your data, like we apply data.show. So here we are using creating temporary view table flights, and we are getting the same data. But here we can apply our Spark SQL and apply our knowledge of SQL. So if we proceed further, you already know that our flight underscore df.show is this. So if you go further, maybe you want to get another details, we have this. We can as well do new results, or we want to filter a particular middle age value, like 20917. So we can do spark.sql select all from, remember we call it, what did we call it there? Flight. So it's flight. Our temporary view table is flight. So from flight, where middle age equals to this. So let's see our result. Let's show it. So here we have filtered out where middle age is 20917. So and these are our results. These are our results. So if we go further, here, we have want to maybe apply the same, we use the Spark SQL. We want to use our normal data frame like we did in the past. We call on data without creating temporary view. We have data.filter. We want to apply the same thing that we did here using temporary view table. So data.filter, the data, and that's the data frame. Middle age, that's the column that we're after. Column name, where the column name a value equals to 20917. So we are applying the same thing we are doing here as we did here. We are doing the same thing here. So we want to show the result. Let's see what we have. It's going to give us the same result. So we have several ways of filtering particular value in the data. Like for example, as we can see here, we use Spark SQL, we use normal filtering, and if we go further, we can do here. We want to check when middle age is less than 20917, and we want, if middle age is less than 20917, we want to select the columns children and middle age. So if we do that, let's run this, we have our results. So we are filtering, we are getting two columns, children and middle age, and on the condition that the middle age must be less than 20917. You can see all the value that we have here, they are all less than 20917. This one is less than 20573 is less than 20917. So for us, that we have fulfilled that condition, we are meeting the condition. So here we have our middle age is not less than 50,000. So if we run this, so here we have our middle age is greater than 10,000 and is also not less than 50,000. So that means it's above 50,000. That means it's above 50,000. If you run that, we get this. You can see we are able to filter out when our middle age is above 50,000. That's 96,000. If we remove this sign, that means we can get value when it's less than 50,000. Let's run it. The value will change. Here we have 20917. That means we're filtering when middle age is greater than 10,000 and also less than 50,000. So we can get that value. So if we go on further, let me just display when it's not less than 50,000. Let me do that here so that we can see the results. So not less than 50,000 is going to give us different results. Here it's giving us when it's less than 50,000, we have this. When middle age is greater than 10,000 and less than 50,000, we have this. when middle age is greater than 10,000 and not less, because of this sign, we have not less than 50,000, we have this value. So we can see we have different results coming out. So here we want to filter based on number of children, like we have 18324. So let's filter that. We want to filter the whole data with that. So if you go for that, can you see when children and the value of children is 18324, we have that for LA name Pendu and LA code. So for middle age is this value, for young people is this value, for this is this value. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the notification bell for more videos.